Deadpool made his first comics appearance in 1991's New Mutants, issue number 98, in a story titled The Beginning of the End. While the story would mark the end of the New Mutants comic series, it would only be the beginning for the boisterous bounty hunter. The character's popularity has spawned several solo comic book series, toys, video games, and a pair of feature films starring Ryan Reynolds.
Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Wolverine.
With the announcement of a threequel on the way, fans have speculated how the new film will fit into the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Everyone calm down, the pros are here!
Hey folks, welcome to The Binger. In this video, we're gonna look at 10 characters who could appear alongside the Merc With A Mouth in Deadpool 3.
Anyway, I got places to be, a face to fix, and oh!
The mutant known as Cable served as the leader of the New Mutants in Deadpool's debut issue. Cable and Deadpool each went on to have a solo comic series in which the other would make frequent guest appearances. The pair also co-headlined a comic series from 2004 to 2008. The super serious Cable and the silly, spurious Deadpool had the makings of one of comics' all-time odd couples. Cable also appeared in Deadpool 2 along with Deadpool's mutant misfit team,
Will be known as X-Force.
Could the time-traveling telekinetic make a return appearance in Deadpool 3? Two signs point to yes. The characters have nearly 30 years worth of history in the comics. Much of that history involves some of the funniest and most bizarre storylines in the history of Marvel, and that's saying something. 2. The post-credits scene from the previous film established that Cable's time travel device is working again. The bickering buddies could travel to any point in time and cause any amount of trouble. As Avengers Endgame proved, nothing is impossible where time travel is concerned.
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy.
If there's one character in the Deadpool films who's been conspicuous by his absence, it's Wolverine. In both films, Deadpool has made frequent references to both the character and actor Hugh Jackman. Jackman portrayed the Canadian mutant in numerous X-Men films and his solo series. A version of Deadpool appeared in 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine. However, the Wade Wilson in that film bore little resemblance to the character fans know and love today, except for having Ryan Reynolds in the role. Reynolds and the writers took a shot, literally, at that version in the post-credit scene in Deadpool 2. Does that mean that these two Weapon X alumni will finally get together on the big screen? Let's just say that the odds are better that Wade's buddy/chauffeur Dopinder gets back together with his beloved Geeta.
Any luck winning Gita back?
Jackman rocketed to superstardom with his role as Wolverine in 2000's X-Men. By the time he finished on 2017's Logan, he had been playing the character for nearly 2 decades and in 10 films. While Jackman and Reynolds have maintained a hilarious rivalry in real life, it's unlikely fans will see them together in costume.
Sorry, man, I didn't think the truce was actually real.
Deadpool 2 showed that Wade Wilson has nearly as many skills when it comes to shaping young minds as he does carving up his enemies.
You gotta grab those dreams by the tip and make it rain.
He talked a young Fire Fist out of taking his revenge on an abusive schoolmaster, even if it did ruin his favorite skee-ball token. So why not pair him with another troubled young mutant in Deadpool 3? How about a teenage version of one of the X-Men's most powerful enemies? In a 2012 issue of Uncanny X-Force, Deadpool struck up an unlikely friendship with Evan Sabanur, aka Kid Apocalypse. Evan is a teenage clone of N-Saba-Nur, the immortal mutant known as Apocalypse. Oscar Isaac played N-Saba-Nur in 2016's X-Men Apocalypse. Wade could guide Evan away from his tendencies toward world domination through his wit, wisdom, and unending supply of fart jokes. The pair could even swap stories about how previous versions of their characters received poor reviews in their earlier films. After all, taking on a teenage sidekick worked out so well for Batman. You know, except for the whole Joker bashing Jason Todd's skull in with a crowbar thing. But he got better, so it still worked out. The Merc With A Mouth versus the Bayou Bad Boy. Fans of the classic 1990s animated series will remember Remy LeBeau, the mutant thief known as Gambit. Gambit can impart objects with kinetic energy, turning them into explosives. His favorite weapon, a deck of playing cards. Gambit made a brief appearance in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but his limited role didn't allow for a fuller exploration of his character. Rumors have swirled for over a decade that the Cajun sensation would get a solo movie. However, the buzz has gone silent on that possibility in recent years. So why not team up the Louisiana ladies' man with the Canadian quipster? The two tangled in the comics in a 5-issue miniseries from 2016 titled Deadpool v Gambit. The V is for V's. The title is an obvious riff on the 2016 film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. With this in mind, the pair could play their unique variations on the tropes made famous or infamous by their distinguished competition. Maybe they could learn that their mothers have the same first name? In the comics, when it comes to Marvel's menagerie of merry mutants, the Merc With A Mouth has battled both against and alongside the X-Men. In the films, the only major player for the Xavier Institute to appear has been Peter Rasputin, the steel-skinned mutant known as Colossus. The running joke has been that the films haven't had the budget to bring in Cyclops, Jean Grey, Professor X, and the rest of the team.
The studio couldn't afford another X-Men.
With the box office success of the Deadpool films, that situation could change. Producers may see fit to bring Deadpool into the larger X-Men movie universe. After witnessing the poor performance of X-Men Dark Phoenix, studio executives may look to Deadpool to revive the flailing franchise. The chemistry between the devil-may-care Deadpool and the ramrod straight Russian has showed some classic buddy comedy moments. The inclusion of other team members may bring more possibilities, especially when it comes to the Stewart versus McAvoy debate. However, that tactic brings up an important question. Will Deadpool bring the X-Men franchise back to prominence, or will the X-Men's problems make Deadpool's franchise extinct?
It's over. Go home.
30 years before Deadpool debuted, Marvel launched another costumed character in red tights with quips as fast as his fists. With so many similarities both in costume design and personality, Spider-Man and Deadpool had the makings of the perfect comedy team. It was only natural that the regenerating degenerate would team up with the web-headed wallcrawler. They co-starred together in a series for 50 issues from 2016 to 2019, generating hundreds of jokes and reams of memes. A Spidey-Deadpool team-up movie could serve as Deadpool's entry into the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now that Disney owns all the Fox properties, the way has been smoothed out for such a story to hit the screens. However, some issues may still leave a tangled web that could stop such a project in its tracks. Would Marvel Studios risk one of its PG-13 franchise players in an R-rated Deadpool movie? Would Spider-Man rights holder Sony allow such a team-up to happen? Would either studio insist on dumbing down Deadpool's delivery and force the character into a watered-down PG-13 role? Call it grim and gritty versus Gabby and Goofy. In all of the Marvel Universe, you couldn't find two characters with more opposite personalities than Deadpool and the Punisher. For the motor-mouthed Deadpool, eliminating enemies is his job. For the vicious vigilante Punisher, it's a personal crusade. Deadpool enjoys piercing enemies with his sharp wit as much as he does with his sharper katanas. The Punisher would rather fire off hundreds of rounds than a witty one-liner. The two have met in the comics on numerous occasions, both as allies and as foes. With the end of the agreement between Marvel and Netflix, the Punisher has disappeared from the small screen as well as the larger MCU. A team-up with Deadpool could bring the Punisher his first taste of big-screen success since the 2008 cult classic Punisher Warzone. Also, the Punisher may be one of the few Marvel characters who wouldn't blink at the levels of violence Deadpool often employs. If Deadpool and the Punisher are on opposite ends of the personality spectrum, then DP and Captain America are on opposite sides of the morality debate. In the 2014 miniseries Deadpool, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Deadpool must team up with the Wolverine and Captain America. Comic fans will know that both Deadpool and Wolverine came from a secret research program designed to create a new breed of super soldier. The trio learns that unscrupulous scientists are using Deadpool's organs to reverse engineer his healing factor and make super soldiers of their own. The gun-toting gadfly and the star-spangled man with a plan were also teammates in the Avengers for a brief time. So how could this work in the MCU? Would Deadpool use his time travel device to go back to World War II and fight alongside Cap and the Howling Commandos? Would Cap scold Wade for his potty mouth as much as he did with Iron Man in Avengers Age of Ultron?
This went sideways in the most colossal way.
Language.
Psycho Man made his first comics appearance in Fantastic Four Annual No. 5 in 1967. The Metal Menace used a device that could provoke hate, doubt, and fear in his adversaries. Although he was a fearsome foe to the Fantastic Foursome during the Silver Age of comics, he's barely been seen since. A rare modern appearance of the character occurred in an alternate reality in which Psycho Man disguised himself as, what else, a psychiatrist. Disguised as Dr. Benjamin Brighton, Psycho Man eliminates Deadpool's wacky sense of humor and brainwashes him into becoming a relentless assassin. Deadpool turns his talent for mayhem onto Marvel's biggest heroes and villains. When he leaves no one left alive in the Marvel Universe, he turns his rage onto the comics creators, publishers, and readers. The book came with a parental advisory warning for its violent content, which could make it an attractive story source for the next film. The story could also allow the character to target both his humor and his weapons at Marvel's most iconic characters. He could be taking them down both literally and figuratively.
I got one more idea.
What could be better than a movie featuring Deadpool? How about a movie featuring multiple Deadpools? The new film could involve Deadpools from multiple timelines, much like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The MCU already brought up the possibility of a multiverse with Spider-Man Far From Home. The upcoming Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will also explore this concept. Between the time travel aspect and the potential multiverse, the possibilities are practically endless. Also, Deadpool's unique abilities could eliminate the need for timey-wimey stuff at all. Since Deadpool can regenerate from any injury, could he regenerate copies of himself? For instance, if he loses an arm and his body forms a new arm, can that arm form a new body? If so, would that body have the same personality as the original? Would that new Pool be just as engaging and charismatic? Or would it be more detached? Get it? Detached? Because his arm was... Oh, hi Wayne. Just wrapping up here. I was just about to... Wait, what are you doing? Put that sword away. No! No! Ah! So what do you think? What Deadpool team-up would you like to see? Are there any other possibilities that belong on this list? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like this video, share it with your Marvel fan friends, and subscribe to The Binger to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.